Vegas City Council welcomes you to our council meeting this evening. There are two public forums, one set aside at the beginning of the meeting and one at the end. We have on the left-hand side over here, we have some blue cards. If you wish to speak, please complete one of the blue cards, and we have a table out back that has some blue cards. Sign up for what you want to talk about. The city clerk sits right here. She'll take those cards and pass it up to us on the table. When I call upon you, request that you keep your comments to no more than 3 minutes, and hopefully we can avoid some repetition. Councilman Barone is not in attendance tonight. He's had his poor little brother passed away, so he's out of town this evening, or not out of town, but just not at our council meeting. So we want to excuse him. Madam City Clerk, are we in compliance with the Nevada open meeting law?
Mayor, yes, we are in compliance.
Thank you. Tonight we have the opportunity to have the invocation given by Father Cryer from St. Joseph's Catholic Church following the Pledge of Allegiance led by Sharia Bircher of Legacy High School. Please rise.
Father Almighty, we have gathered together today to set a course that will bring our community to ever greater progress, prosperity, and peace. We ask that you guide our minds to find the best answers to our requests and needs. At the same time, please strengthen our wills to accomplish the responsibilities we hold that should bring our projects to completion when they are found to be worthy in your sight. As we once more enter the season of joy and charity, may we be granted the spirit of giving that is shown in respect and a helping hand to our neighbor. Fill our hearts and minds with the inspiration and vision needed to sustain this community on a path that promotes the building of harmonious relations, which will provide all with a life that is filled with goodness and be an edification of those who choose to dwell here and join us in our endeavors. Therefore, once more, grant us wisdom, grant us knowledge, grant us understanding, grant us counsel, and grant us strength of will to use these gifts so that, as citizens of this community, we may experience tranquility and earthly blessings. Amen.
I'd like to thank the Lord for waking us up this morning and blessing us for another day, and also keeping everybody safe and everybody that made it here safely. And I'd like to send a special prayer for everybody that's here and keeping them covered with your blood and send your angels all around them. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please follow me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And Father, it's nice to have you in our building. Welcome. Thank you for blessing us also. Moving on to council items. Mayor Pro Tem Churchio.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Let me wish everybody a very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. We had an amazing an event again this year, thanks to our police department and our volunteers. Shop with a Cop was held at Target, and we very much appreciate all of the volunteers that came there, our VIPs, our volunteers in police service, and of course all of our police officers who gave their personal time for these children who unfortunately are suffering from terminal diseases, very many of them, and sometimes it could be their last Christmas. But it was a great success, and once again, I just wanted to thank all of our officers who participated. Secondly, I had once again an opportunity to speak at one of the high schools that are in Ward 4, Mojave High School, part of the JAG program. It was amazing how many children in the class that were really interested in hearing from an elected official to get a better perspective or a different perspective on what could be part of their future. So many times, and I go back too many years to even go into that, but college was never on the table for me. But we all understand nowadays that education is a must. But so many of the young adults getting ready to graduate, speaking to them or getting their questions that day in other events that I've spoken at, they focus very much on college. Fortunately or unfortunately, there's a lot of work out there that doesn't require a college degree. I could tell you that I was not college material at the time. I probably still aren't college material, but they get it, they understand, and we try to make it very clear to them, myself and the principal, who were in attendance, that it's not always about money when it comes to education. It's about giving you the ability to make a choice, that picking something that'll actually fulfill you in your life, rather than just making a lot of money to buy the material thing. So to me, it's always a privilege to get an opportunity to speak and to get the pulse and sense of our students in today's terms. And lastly, once again, I had the opportunity and the privilege to attend North Las Vegas' C Strand Helping Hands senior Christmas party at 3 Square. We have an amazing nonprofit here in North Las Vegas that does, and again, I'll use the amazing word, amazing work for our seniors. They get out there, they transport them to doctor's appointments, shopping. They have volunteers that'll go in there and address certain concerns in their home or their apartments, whether they need light bulbs changed or any plumbing work. They are one of a kind, and they're homebred as far as North Las Vegas goes. So we appreciate what they do here for our seniors, and we enjoy recognizing them every year at the Christmas party. A lot of those seniors have absolutely no opportunity during the year to get out, and this very often, unfortunately, is their only opportunity to get out and mingle and socialize and actually get a sense of what the holidays are all about. So that was my gift given to me to be there that day. So once again, everybody have a very, very happy holiday and a safe and healthy new year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilwoman Goins Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. In Councilman Barone's absence, he just asked me if I would read what's happening in Ward 1. So I'm just going to read verbatim what he wrote. These are his words, not mine. It says, for the past few years now, I have, with the help of community partners, been sponsoring toys for the Boys and Girls Club Christmas parties here in Ward 1, the Montandan Unit, and the James Clubhouse. Together, we provided more than 230 gifts to their members' children. These generous partners include our friends at Green Cross, Mr. Bob Ellis, and Jeremy Stamis of Jerry's Nugget. Thanks for your support for my ward's children. I would also like to thank the volunteers who were able to pitch in to help out, purchase, and wrap all these gifts. Rancho High School, Hispanic Student Union, and the Student Organization of Latinos, SOL. The clubs at Canyon Springs High School, El Dorado, and Valley. Thanks so much. Couldn't have done it without you. And of course, thanks to Lisa Dix and her staff. They call themselves the James Jaws for pulling off another successful event and providing a very much needed resource for our North Las Vegas families. And finally, it is with deepest regret that I announce the passing of my brother, Carlos Barone. Carlos was, as I am, a lifelong resident of the city. He attended our area schools such as Jim Bridger and Rancho High, and later was employed as a teacher at Canyon Springs High School and J.D. Smith Middle School. Well known and loved in the community, he was regarded as a good friend, teacher, coach, and neighbor. He will be missed, especially by his beloved family. Funeral and remembrance arrangements can be seen on Isaac Barone's Facebook page. And so, Councilman Barone, just to let you know that you are in our hearts and our prayers this evening, and we are sorry for your loss. On last Saturday, I attended the Breakfast with Santa event at Silver Mesa, and Councilman Black will just expand on that because that's in his ward. But just to know that we had served over 300 families breakfast, and of course Santa was there, and we got to take pictures with Santa, so it was a great time had by all. One of our nonprofit organizations in North Las Vegas is called Rosie's Wish and Empowering to Excel. They also had their Christmas party on Friday, where they serviced over 100 North Las Vegas families, providing them with toys, bicycles, and a visit from Santa Claus. So a lot of families left there happy as well. And just a special thanks to the North Las Vegas Police Department for another successful Shop with a Cop event. We always look forward to participating with that. And then I'd just like to take this time to wish everybody a prosperous, happy, Merry Christmas. Let me see if I can get this right. I messed it up Saturday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Black.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. As Councilwoman Goins-Brown said, this past Saturday we had the privilege of attending an awesome event at the Silver Mesa Rec Center, and I would like to give special thanks to Angela Johnson, who's the manager, and Cass Palmer. The decorations in the entry were amazing. It transported the children to a magical winter wonderland. The breakfast was awesome. Live entertainment. There were several hundred people there, and the neat thing about it was there were families together. Enjoying a breakfast and lots of fathers, lots of mothers. It was really a great experience. And also, I'd like to also thank the police department for the Shop with a Cop. I'd seen that on TV for years. Seeing it in person was inspiring. The children were filled with joy and excitement. It was an awesome scene to behold. So I appreciate their commitment to that awesome program.
Thank you, and I think I'll just add to that Shop with a Cop. We had a benefactor come forth and help raise quite a bit of money, but my goal was to help the police department finally get some sort of funding that they could do throughout the community, help with Shop with a Cop. So we were able to raise some very good money for them as a council, but just to recognize the council, each of these wonderful council people up here, when they heard the event was kind of cash struck because a lot of the people who in the past who had donated to the Shop with a Cop weren't here anymore. They stepped forward. So each of these fine people, well, everybody up here on the board, we contributed $2,500 each to the Shop with the Cop program. We believe in that program. We think it's great. We love our police department. But if it would be possible, I don't know if this is right, but can we give these guys a clap for donating $2,500 each? Thank you. All right, thank you very much. Public forum. Now is the time set aside for the first public forum on posted agenda items. Madam City Clerk, do you have any blue cards?
I have no additional ones. You have the other ones.
Is that nothing for anyone would like to approach the council and talk on a posted agenda item or wait till that item comes up? This would be your time to come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Moving on to the agenda.
Item 1, approve City Council regular meeting agenda of December 20th, 2017 for possible action.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. We have several changes to tonight's agenda. The applicants for items number 3, 4, and 28 have requested a continuation to January 17th, 2018 meeting. Staff also recommends that the council move item number 19 after the item number 35 in order for the city's contract auditor to be present. With those changes, staff recommends the agenda be approved as amended.
Okay. Madam City Manager, Mr. Piercy has made it here, so he would like to stay in the line of 19. I know he just snuck in the room, so what if we do everything else but let him come up on item 19? Would that be okay?
That would be okay.
All right, thank you very much. Chair will call for a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Mayor, motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved. Moving on to set future public hearing dates.
Item 2, set date on any appeals filed or required public hearings from the City Planning Commission meetings.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. I so direct you make any changes as necessary, change dates as necessary.
Mayor, so noted.
Moving on to public hearing.
Item 5, approve waive 0617 North 5th for applicant Sergio Arcieri, Nevada Hand, Inc. for a waiver in an R4, high-density residential district, to reduce the required number of parking spaces at the northwest corner of North 5th Street and Rome Boulevard, APN 124-22-701009.
Welcome. Good evening, Bob. There you go.
Good evening. Bob Feibelman with Nevada Hand, 295 East Warm Springs. We agree with staff's recommendations, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion. Or, do you have any questions? I'm sorry.
No, no, no.
Public hearing.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Go right
Move
ahead.
to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Good for you.
Thank you, and happy holidays without listing them all.
Moving on to the consent agenda.
Matters listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and may be approved by a single motion. However, any consent item may be moved to the business portion of the agenda for discussion at the request of any council member.
Mayor and the council, the consent agenda tonight consists of items number 6 through 16. Staff recommends approval as presented.
Thank you. Council, we have, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'll be happy to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved. Moving on to business.
Item 17, receive presentation by Grant Hanville, School Associate Superintendent regarding the quarterly report for the Clark County School District.
Thank you. Mr. Handveld, welcome.
All right, good evening, Mayor Lee, members of the council. It's an honor for me to be here tonight. In fact, it's a great honor for me to be here tonight because you're not going to listen to me talk for 15 to 20 minutes about the amazing things that we're doing in the Clark County School District. We actually brought proof that we're doing amazing things in the Clark County School District, and I'm honored to have my colleague, Felicia Gonzalez, who is School Associate Superintendent over Performance Zone 6, and I'm going to turn it over to her to introduce who she brought with her tonight to talk about some great things going on at Desert Rose. And ultimately, you're going to get to hear from our city's greatest resource, some awesome kids. So I'll turn it over to her.
Thank you.
Mayor John Lee, members of the North Las Vegas City Council, and I would like to welcome Scott Black, a former classmate of mine from Rancho High School. We are here today to of course, provide you our quarterly update on the school district's reorganization. But as Grant Hanvold and I discussed, what a better way to give you an update than to give you an actual example of what happens when you empower principals and you empower teachers, and of course, you give students opportunities. So it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Mrs. Carrie Pope. She is the principal overseeing the Desert Rose Tech Center, and her assistant principal, Miss Ziola Braxton. And I'll have them come up, and they'll also introduce the other students that are here. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Lee and members of the board. We are here to explain today some of the changes that we've made at Desert Rose, which is right here in your backyard in North Las Vegas. As you know, Desert Rose is a credit retrieval and a high school adult program as it currently stands. When Ms. Gonzalez talks about empowerment, I went to her with an idea about 18 months ago and said, I'd like to expand some of the things that we're doing at SECTA, where I'm also the principal, and get some opportunities in for students at comprehensive high schools. She called me a couple months later and said, I want you to come and look at this facility. We walked over to Desert Rose and walked through the facility, and I walked out and said, oh my gosh, we have this incredible gem right here in North Las Vegas that we need to try and provide some opportunities for students. So tonight we're going to show you what we've done. In a very short time, the school board actually approved this program in April of 2017. We had 2 weeks to recruit at our comprehensive high schools, and we opened doors the first day of school in 2017. So in about 4 months, we've been able to create something pretty amazing that we want to share with you. Every picture that you will see here tonight in this presentation are of current students in the programs. The goal for this whole program was to provide students with opportunities so that they would have access to college and career training programs. And that's what we've been able to do in North Las Vegas high schools and historic West Side schools. So we currently pull from 6 high schools. These are some of our most at-risk high schools in the Clark County School District. We are getting students from Mojave High School, Canyon Springs, Charles West, Legacy, Desert Rose High School, and adult students have access to our programs, as well as Cheyenne High School. So just to put it in context, these students go to their high school during their regular hours, and then we have secure transportation, and then they come to the Desert Rose Tech Center as part of their day to take these training classes. They get back on that bus and they go back to their high school and finish out the rest of their classes. So we get them for various blocks of time throughout the week. We have 6 programs of study. We have manufacturing, which is brand new, and that's been built in partnership with the Governor's Office of Economic Development. We secured WIN funding to provide the equipment that we need to run this training program. We also have residential and commercial wiring, construction, welding, medical assist, and nursing. When we were designing this program, we really took a look at what were the critical need areas for employment in Las Vegas and in the state of Nevada, really. And these were the areas where we know we have the greatest need. You talked about you don't necessarily need to go to college, and you're absolutely right. But what we need to do is make sure kids have opportunities to take these college classes, because within the classes that we're offering, they're also getting industry recognized certifications. And our goal is that even if you don't go for that college degree, you continue training and you continue taking classes to better yourself so you can continue moving up that ladder and that goal of making as much money as you possibly can. So these are the programs that we went with. We were very particular about what we decided to do. You can see the kids are on one of our printers in the manufacturing class there. Industry certifications that we are currently offering students. Students in some of our programs are earning their OSHA 10, which is the baseline certification that every business that we have spoken to when we're building these partnerships has said our kids need. So we get OSHA 10. Our students in MedAssist and our nursing program get first aid, CPR, and AED certification. Our students are also getting forklift certified. Students in our CNA program will be able to sit and take the state board exam for their certified nursing assistant certification at the end of the school year. Welding depends on the level that the students get to, what kind of certification they will earn. We also, within the next few weeks, will have that yellow robot there is a FANUC robot. That is the industry. They own about 80% of the industry market share for industrialized robots in the world. That little robot, if we train our kids how to move that robot, that's the same robot training that they will need to flip a Mercedes-Benz in the air. When you see those commercials of the manufacturing plants and they're flipping these huge cars, that's the exact robot that's used. And the programmable logic control that our students will learn and be trained on, they'll be able to walk into manufacturing plants and have access to that level of job and that kind of skill when they walk in there. And then we have some powder actuated tools as well. Maybe, there we go. Ms. Braxton here has done an amazing job. She came onto this project. I hired her as an assistant principal at SECTA for about a week, and after about 2 days I said, oh, and by the way, I've got this project I want you working on. And so she has, in a very short time, she dove into this career tech education world, and then she has built these industry partnerships with different companies here in Las Vegas that are knocking it out of the park as far as what they're doing for us. And so when we get a little bit further, I'm going to have her explain what some of those partnerships have done. These are people who are not only partnering and saying that we want to support your kids, but they're showing up. They're talking to our kids. They came, one of our partners actually came and helped us clean out our construction area, and workers showing up and saying, what can we do to help, and really wanting to make this program run. Actually, I'll let you talk about some of those now with Hilti and some of the others.
Mayor Lee, members of the council. I can't even begin to explain to you the impact that the private industry has had in just helping us. Like we said, over the summer, we had about 50 volunteers come to the school and just help us clean. They have provided us funding. They have provided us guest speakers. We actually have Hilti coming in next month, and they are actually going to provide the certifications for fire stop and powder actuated tools. And so they are also going to bring in equipment. Some of the different companies that you see, some of the industry leaders have come in, and they're going to bring in equipment and demo the equipment for our students and provide certifications as well.
These companies, you can see the kids in their hard hats. So if you look at, we've got Penta Building, Martin Harris, Wells Cargo, Las Vegas Paving, Aggregate, and Lunas Construction. They actually have sponsored a class period. And so they brought in hard hats with their logos and designs. And so when the kids walk into our construction program, the first thing they do is grab their hard hat. They're sponsored by one of these organizations, and then they are mentoring these kids as they go along. The Nevada Contractors Association is also setting up a scholarship fund for our students. Because we're pulling students who are some of them quite at risk. One of the number one things they're going to need when they get to a job site are boots, or they can't work. And so the Nevada Contractors Association has set up a scholarship fund. We're going to have students are required to do some service to school, and then they will be able to go down to Boot Barn and get their first set of work boots, which will last them for years if they really take care of them. So we're not just giving them the skills, but also the materials that some of these kids are going to need as they move on. So these partnerships are just really the only way this is going to work, and the businesses in Las Vegas have really stepped up to make sure these kids can have access and find ways to be successful. We also have a collaboration of agencies we've been working with. Certainly the Clark County School District gave us the green light and some funding. The Governor's Office of Economic Development, the Office of Workforce Innovations for New Nevada, Nevada System of Higher Ed, Frank Woodbeck has been instrumental in getting these programs going. The Department of Employee Training and Rehabilitation, they gave us $75,000 so that we could do power upgrades at Desert Rose to be able to run the manufacturing equipment. And then the principals at these high schools, I can't tell you, I went to them and I said, hey, I've got this crazy idea. Can I have some of your kids? And they kind of looked at me funny, and I said, I promise it's going to be good. And every single one of them said, is this going to be really good program for our students? We'll figure out a way to make it work. And so I just wanted to recognize the principals at those high schools that we're dealing with, because they jumped off a ledge with us and said, yeah, we'll figure this out. We've had some obstacles and some hiccups, but they make sure these kids are coming to us every single day and have been amazing supporters of this program. I don't know where to go. In addition to these classes, we've also established career technical student organizations, which are nationally recognized. Our students went up to Elko recently and went to their first leadership training with Skills USA, and they will be competing in Reno in April. Our nursing and our MedAssist students, they've started a HOSA chapter, which is the nationally recognized nursing chapter. They just held their first school food drive competition. And then they as well will be going on a leadership trip. This picture is from Construction Career Day at UNLV, which all of our students have an opportunity to go to and speak to various businesses here in town. So I'm going to let Ms. Braxton introduce our student speakers, because it's all great to hear about what this program is, but these kids are doing some amazing things. So we want to give them a chance to let you know what's going on there.
We have a little bit of a change in the first speaker, so I'd first like to introduce Luis Pinto.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. My name is Luis Pinto. I attend Mojave High School, and I major in commercial wiring at the Desert Rose Tech Center. I really feel like this is such a big part of my life as it has become. Before I started attending this high school, I really felt lost, as most high schoolers do. They go up to the graduate level and just go off into the world and really just try to build from there. But Desert Rose has actually, the Desert Rose Tech Center has actually offered me a wide option of possibilities. I now know what I want to do in my life. This is not a matter of wanting to go there for the fun of it. It's actually giving me a platform to build on, which has really been the big part of what Desert Rose has to offer. I really feel like what they teach us isn't like about sitting in the desk, which is the main part I like about it. A lot of schools really want you to sit in the desk and learn, but over at Desert Rose Tech Center, the teachers make it possible for you to become hands-on and go out there and actually get training. We have our own little cubicles that we go to. We go out with our hard hats, as we said. Every day we get our tools, we're provided with tools, and we go out there and we actually learn. It's not sitting down at a desk the whole day. It's being able to get up, get off the bus, and go right to work. There's so many kids now that I see that don't have an interest in school that are now excited, as well as I, to get on the bus and go. I like to go. I like to get things done. I don't like sitting at desks and having to learn about things I really don't feel have a need in my future. But at Desert Rose Tech Center, there's not a single thing that I haven't done that I know that will not prepare me for my real world. Thank you.
I'd like to next introduce Bridget Bullock and Shariah Vircher.
Hello, my name is Shariah, and I am a senior at Legacy High School. The CNA class at Desert Rose High School is incredible. The staff members are great and the classes are amazing. We learn a lot of important things, including healthcare agencies, medical terminology, personal rights, bed making, preventing infections, vital signs, and how to measure them. This helped me because nursing assistant gave me an exception to care for patients, and I know after I finish this class, I will take my nursing exam and I will pass, and they will help me get interviews with hospitals to find a job. And I love putting all my effort into this class because I know that this is important to my future. And I love to give a special appreciation to Ms. Pope and Ms. Braxton and my teacher, Mrs. Cram, for giving me this opportunity to pursue my career.
Hi, my name is Bridget Bullock, and I attend Legacy High School, class of 2019. I major in medical assisting. Some of the things I enjoy most about the Tech Center are learning skills such as blood pressure, EKG, pulse, and injections. Attending the Tech Center helped me realize my future goals are possible and well within my reach. It also pushed me to experience new things and opportunities. Thank you for your time.
And finally, I'd like to introduce Antoine Bennett.
Hello, my name's Antoine. The Tech Center, I'm a little nervous, sorry. Oh, well, I'm actually learning. Oh, I'm majoring in manufacturing. I'm learning how to use a laser engrader. We learned how to manufacture. Oh, we learned how to design and build our own designs that we design. 3D printer.
That's big.
We just got new equipment, and it's too nervous. What I like best about the program is I actually get to do hands-on work, which I actually do like because it helps me learn a lot better and just, yeah. It actually gives me a second option of what I want to do as far as, you know, like wanting to go into manufacturing, being part of a big company as far as like iPhone or something like that. And there's like constructions where I could design the stuff for them and then they, you know, have somebody build it or possibly part of it. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Before you get up, I would like to say to some of the students, you're not going to have to leave North Las Vegas for a job. All good jobs in the future are coming out of North Las Vegas. We expect the nurses to stay here, the welders to stay here, the manufacturing people to stay here. We are going to provide your future here in North Las Vegas. So stay close to this council and you'll be very successful.
So one of the other pieces about Desert Rose Tech Center that we really envision for these students is that we're pushing that idea of you have to keep learning. So we are planning to expand the high school opportunities. This year, we are right around 220 students. And again, we had 2 weeks to recruit. And we've got 220 students in the program. We plan to double that number for next year. We don't believe we're going to have any issues doing that. But the other big piece with this school is that we have an MOU with CSN that when our day is over, the building can remain open for college classes and training. It's very expensive to have this kind of equipment for training. And one of the pieces for you as the council is to be able to have an opportunity when businesses come to town and say, you know what, we're able to certify your people in OSHA 10 because they can take this class down at the Desert Rose Tech Center. Or if you're coming in here and you need this particular skill for an electronics technician, we've got this program down at Desert Rose where we're not only training high school students, but we also have this program open at night to train members of our community. We really see this as being community building in terms of giving families opportunities. If I've got a cousin sitting at home and they graduated from high school and they don't have an opportunity yet to get some training, there's now a place where they can come. That partnership with Owen is also really looking to incentivize this program with businesses, so they are looking to pay for the credits and for the classes to help these community members get training so that they can go out and get all of those jobs that are here in North Las Vegas and in the valley at large. So we really see this growing and expanding and becoming a hub in the city where people can get great training at a great price, and then be able to walk out and start getting some jobs. We're working with Job Connect and Dieter, so that we're looking to possibly have even a Job Connect office on our campus. So when people come and they're getting the training, they can also see what job opportunities are available to them. So growing these high school students and growing this program for them is our number one priority, but we know that in a very short time, I can't believe, I say to Ms. Braxton all the time, can you believe what we're doing? Because no one, Ms. Gonzalez, that we cannot believe how quickly we were able to really get this going, and to think of what we could do by next year is pretty amazing. But these kids are incredible. What they don't tell you is that if they miss more than 2 days, they're out. If they have any behavior problems at our school or at theirs, they're out. We did not make this a magnet program. There's not a grade GPA requirement. There's not any requirement to get in this program other than a desire to want to learn something, and you have to show up. Because if you're going to get a job, you have to show up. And these kids show up. They come sick. This is not the class that they miss. And when it's time to get on that bus, they are there. And so our retention rate right now with the students from particularly the 5 comprehensive high schools, we're above 95% at this point. So they're coming and they want to be there. We have students, we're speaking to a student and we're like, oh, we're so glad you're here, and we said something, and he mentioned to us that his father had passed away the day before he was at class. It's life-changing for them, and they see this opportunity that when they get that high school diploma, they're not just walking out with a diploma, they're walking out with an opportunity to have a job right away, and to not only help their families, but to also help themselves get further in life. And so we're super excited. We really believe these programs are sustainable, and that we're going to be able to keep moving forward with them. And we're going to come back to you in another few months and say, now we're open for business at night.
Thank
and
you
that
very much.
will be great for your community.
Angela, did you want to finish?
I just wanted to open it up for questions. If you have any questions about the program or any other concerns about CCSD, we're certainly available to answer any questions. But I think I set it up right. You got to hear from our greatest resource, our kids, and are real proud of what they're doing. And,
Thank you. I'll ask the council. Council, any comments or questions? Seem like we're pretty satisfied with what you're doing over there.
And I
But-
just want to thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah,
to
return
share.
and report, though. We'd like to know how these students follow through, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
All right? Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
Good presentation.
Thanks.
If you students want to go home because you got school tomorrow, or, you go ahead. You're not being rude. Thank you for the presentation. And to Jeff Heibarger in the back, welcome to the meeting.
Number 18, approved memorandum of agreement between the City of North Las Vegas and the United States Department of Interior, Bureau of Land Management, for the purpose of land conveyance under the National Defense Authorization Act.
Thank you. Director Gavin, did you have a small presentation on this?
So, Catherine, I'm going to show this map. We can put that up. So this approval for the MOU is actually really, really exciting for the city. In November of 2014, the Congress passed the Tule Springs Lands Bill, and this is actually in Councilman Churchio's ward, but we received 645 acres. And today we have bifurcated that property, and so we've got 495 next to the UNLV property, and then the 150, it's actually a little surplus of that next to the VA, which this is the approval that we're asking for today, which will give us the patent and it will allow us to create new amenities in that area. We are looking at conceptual planning for medical and research campus. And so the idea is to really elevate what we're bringing to North Las Vegas in the way of wages, jobs, being able to build a stronger, more vibrant and diversified city.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item?
I had the opportunity for Gina to brief me on this, and I guess I can kind of say it over here right now because Councilman Barone isn't here. He feels that everything that's going on in North Las Vegas happens in Ward 1, so I'll take this opportunity to say that everything good is also happening in Ward 4. But I'm very excited about this, not because it's in Ward 4, but it's up there by the VA hospital, and we have the National Monument there, and we have the villages of Tule Springs going in. So I see a great synergy there, and it's going to complement one another very well, and appreciate all of the hard work that you do to make this happen for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that sounds like almost a motion.
Yeah, well, I'll be happy to make that motion.
Thank you. We have a motion. Please cast your vote.
Got to clear the screen.
Items approved. Thank you, Gina.
Item 19, receive annual audit report for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2017, and approval of management's corrective action plan in response to the schedule of findings and question costs.
Thank you, Mr. Piercy. This is going to be exciting as the Raiders come into town, isn't it?
If you get excited about audits, something's wrong, I guess. I just like to say, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be of service. We take that responsibility very seriously and try to do a good job for you. And one of the ways that we try to do a good job is we try to put more experienced people on the job than our competition. And for example, I'm out there a lot, not just a day at the beginning or a day at the end, and probably more than Debbie or Rhonda wants to see me. I'm out there. I prepared a few remarks, but I'm more interested in talking about what you want to talk about, or I can go briefly through what an audit is, what we did in that regard, what we found. What's your pleasure? Should I?
Yeah, just go ahead. Some of the things that you've recognized, or some of the things that we are doing better than you thought, or some of the things we need to fix. Corey, could you come up for a minute, our finance director? Maybe she could also just take a second. We don't expect you up here long, but
Yeah. Let me just say this: you have a small staff, and they get a hell of a lot done. And the other side of that coin is you have a small staff, and you need more people to get everything done that should be done. I know by the end of the job was the end date was getting extended, and it's largely because there's no way to divide and conquer when you only have a couple of people, and there's certain things that you all just have to do, and so it falls on the responsibility of a few people. Corey is going to help a lot in that regard. So we welcome the opportunity to work with Corey. What else? Probably, again, it's a two-edged sword. Pretty much every, if you call it findings is a bad word, but the areas that need improvement and the need for adjustments and things that we found pretty much all relate to staffing. There's just not enough of it. And I can give you a couple of examples of how if staffing is too low, it begins to cost you extra money. So, for example, there was about $900,000 of expenditures that you spent that you had the right to be reimbursed for, and it took about 2 years for $450,000 of it to get billed, and it took another year for the other $450,000 to be billed. So those things end up costing you money. There's circumstances where, if you don't make the right notifications to insurance carriers, that sometimes coverages on certain events might be null and void. And if you're just in what I call a fix and repair, or a break and repair mode of operations, every day everybody comes in with a list of things that they want to do. But when there's too few people, you walk in the door and there's always something that just broke, or there's a fire that I got to put out. And so all those things that you would like to do tend to get put off because you're fixing, or because you're reacting to the fire of the day. And so, I mean, pretty much, like I said, everything that we found, by the way, our audit report was unqualified, which is the highest level of opinion that you can get. And so none of the things that we found resulted in reducing the level of opinion that we did, and all those things that we found were included in our scope of work. And so from that standpoint, there's nothing to worry about in that regard. But I made the comment towards the end of the job, actually during the job, that if we miss this deadline by very much, you're going to lose my attention to the beginning of or end of February, because I have other client commitments, and I was losing my staff, and so I was out there pretty much every day trying to help get it wrapped up, and probably lost my patience a little bit. And I know Debbie and Rhonda were baking cookies laced with arsenic, trying to deal with me. But we got it done, and I think the product's a good product. So.
Thank you. Corey, did you want to add anything?
Just that we're grateful for all of the assistance that Piercy Bowler, Taylor & Kern gives us every year, and we value their comments and their advice, and it's onward and upward, and just strive to get better.
Mr. Pierce, we recognize we are increasing our employment now at the city. Finally, we've got to a point. I know that you've mentioned that to Darren one time, and I know recently we just hired 2 more people. So we will be fully staffed next time you come here next year, okay?
And I don't want you to think that some things weren't better, because some things were better. It's just a matter of, if you're always having to decide, against have to do and should do, it's not a good.
Yeah.
It's not a good situation. So.
Okay, thank you, Corey. Appreciate
Again,
it.
thanks
Council,
for-
any comments or questions? No, thank you for the presentation.
And thank you for letting us be of service.
We take a motion on it, or is that just a presentation?
Yes, to approve the corrective action plan.
Okay, Councilor, any comments or questions? If not, the chair will take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Items approved.
Item 20, approve amendment number 1 to the second amended and total restatement of ambulance services franchise agreement with Medic West Ambulance, Inc. to extend the duration of the current agreement for a period not to exceed 4 months, which will expire on April 30th, 2018, to allow the city to complete negotiations.
Thank you. Anyone want to come up and discuss this item with the council? If not, we will ask for a motion. Council, any comments or questions?
No, Mayor, but I'll be happy to make a motion.
Thank you very much. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 21, approve renewal proposal with Sun Life Financial Stop Loss Insurance Policy in the amount of $707,153.76 to cover health insurance claims that exceed $250,000 annually for city employees for the period of January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2018.
Thank you, Councilor. Any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 22, approve information technology service agreement with CenturyLink Communications in a total amount not to exceed $932,423.40, $186,484.68 annually for 5 years using the competitive bidding exception per NRS 332 Local Government Purchasing Act to replace and refresh the current 911 Viper system for the police department.
Thank you, Councilor. Any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
I'd like to move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 23, authorize release of covenants and revoke revocable encroachment permit to Madison Palms LIHTC Limited Partnership and Madison Palms Limited Partnership that was required to guarantee construction of half-street improvements on Ann Road, Farrell Street, and El Campo Grande Avenue on APNs 12429-41600 through 041.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
I'd like to move to approve this item.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 24, approve professional engineering services agreement with Collins Engineers, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $124,652 from Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada Fuel Revenue Indexing Funds to provide professional engineering services for the Gilmore Avenue, Simmons Street to Allen Lane project, CIP project number 10462.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 25, approve interlocal contract with the Clark County Regional Flood Control District in the amount of $14,469,000 funded by the Clark County Regional Flood Control District for construction and construction management of the Hollywood System Dune South Detention Basin to Centennial Parkway Phase 1 project, CIP project number 10375.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Mayor, I'll be happy to make a motion on behalf of my colleague, Councilman Barone.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 26, award bid number 1488 and approve construction contract with Las Vegas Paving Corporation in amount of $3,563,000 funded by Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada Fuel Revenue Indexing Funds for the Gowan Road Sawtooth Infill Project, CIP project number 10388C.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 27, award bid number 1528 and approve construction contract with Aggregate Industries, SRW, Inc., in the amount of $822,999 from the Motor Vehicle Fuel Tax 293 Fund for the Major Street Rehabilitation FY 1617 CIP project number 10280-17, located along various roadways in North Las Vegas.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved. We have just passed over $21 million worth of changes that are going to benefit the residents of North Las Vegas because of these bids. This is exciting for the city. Things are really happening in North Las Vegas. Thank you very much. Moving on to ordinances, final action.
Ordinances listed under final action were introduced at a previous council meeting for action at this meeting, but may include emergency ordinances. Note for the viewing audience, item 28 was continued to January 17, 2018. Item 29, pass and adopt ordinance number 2845, amending Title V of the Municipal Code related to medical marijuana establishments, amending Section 5.29, medical marijuana establishment, and providing for other matters properly related thereto.
Thank you. Councilor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 30, pass and adopt ordinance number 2849, amending Title 17, zoning ordinance, of the Municipal Code, ZOA 0517, amending medical marijuana establishment provisions to add provisions for retail marijuana, update permitted use tables, and provide for other matters properly related thereto.
Thank you. Councilor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 31, Pass and adopt ordinance number 2851, amending Title II of the Municipal Code relating to zoning fees, amending Section 2.38.020, fees for marijuana establishments, and providing for other matters properly related thereto.
Thank you, Counselor. Any comments or questions on this item? If none, the chair will take a motion.
Mayor, I'd be happy to make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Item's approved.
Item 32, pass and adopt ordinance number 2850, amending Title 17, zoning ordinance, of the Municipal Code ZOA 0617 to allow motorhomes, vehicles, or recreational vehicles to be parked upon residential properties and providing for other matters properly related thereto.
Thank you. Mr. Larry Hamilton, would you like to come forward? Welcome.
Larry Hamilton, 5920 Billboard Coat. I just want to thank the mayor and the city council and also the planning department. This has been a long project that I'd requested help on, and the mayor stepped up and gave me an avenue to work with the planning department on this. So I just want to publicly thank everybody for all your help, your assistance on this project.
One citizen can make a big difference for a whole community, and you did it.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. I don't know if you passed it yet, but I'm just saying. So if there's no other question, the chair will take a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve item number 32.
Oh, excuse me, Larry, I must have hit the wrong button. Can you show me as a...
We can reflect that as a yes if you want, Mayor.
I'm approving.
Thank you.
Item's approved.
Item 33, pass and adopt ordinance number 2852, authorizing the issuance by the city of North Las Vegas, Nevada, of its general obligation limited tax wastewater reclamation system bonds in the maximum principal amount of $10 million, additionally secured by pledge revenues, Series 2018B, and providing other matters properly related thereto.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Mayor, I'd be happy to make a motion.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Item's approved.
Item 34, pass and adopt ordinance number 2853, authorizing the issuance by the city of North Las Vegas, Nevada, of its general obligation limited tax water bonds in the maximum principal amount of $11,560,000, additionally secured by pledge revenues, Series 2018C, and providing other matters properly related thereto.
Thank you. Counselor, any comments or questions on this item? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Item's approved. Moving on to ordinances, introduction only.
There is no public comment for these items, and no action will be taken by the council at this meeting. If you wish to speak on any of these items, please attend the meeting where the final action will be determined and submit a blue card to the clerk. Item 35, introduce ordinance number 2855, amending Section 10 of Chapter 4 of Title II of the Municipal Code to update the location for council meetings, repealing ordinance number 1649.
Thank you. Moving on to the city manager's report.
Mayor and Council, I do not have additional items to report. However, we like to invite our beloved historian, Jeff Albert, come to the podium to share some historical stories about our city.
Doctor, you've given him that coveted title as North Las Vegas' historian. Is that from in the future? Is that his title?
My unofficial title.
Okay.
Jeff Albert, 3828 Fusilier Drive, North Las Vegas, 89032. Tonight, a little different than my previous reports. First, I appreciate the opportunity to take 5 to 10 minutes on the second council meeting of each month to discuss a little North Las Vegas history. Been doing a lot of research. Tonight, I'm going to be dealing with a human interest story. A lot of you know we have a very popular swap meet in North Las Vegas called Broadacres. My brother and I go there often, and we were there 3 summers ago, and my brother saw this red notebook full of old Las Vegas memorabilia. And the gentleman wanted $75 for it. My brother talked him down to $50. It was full of very interesting old items from the late 40s, 50s, and 60s concerning our city, North Las Vegas, Las Vegas. It had pictures of entertainers. It had timetables for like the bus or railroad. It had old Keno slips from Stardust, as well as two very old casinos from West Las Vegas called the El Rio and the Louisiana Club. So my brother deals in memorabilia, and he sells a lot of stuff on eBay. One of the things he was very interested in trying to sell, there were two identical copies of an original old newspaper from West Las Vegas, printed in West Las Vegas by the NAACP, called The Missile. And one was in poor shape that he sold on eBay for $45, and the other one he donated to the State Museum. Inside this notebook was some information that I thought was important to get back to the family that it belonged to, and we were both surprised of what we found in there. So if I can ask staff to get on the overhead projector, I'm going to show you a few of the items, and maybe somebody in the audience knows something about this family. I'm going to be discussing a family by the name of Roach, R-O-A-C-H, and I think these items don't belong in the trash can. They belong back with the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren of the people I'm about to discuss. If we can blow this up a little. This is a marriage certificate from Newport, Rhode Island from 1943 for a couple by the name of James Ernest Roach and Gladys Mary Bowden. They married there in 43. And on the back was even some scribbled hotel name and addresses. I Googled them. They're still in existence, huge, big, old-fashioned hotels. And the marriage certificate shows that the gentleman, James, was in the Navy, and he was also stationed out here in Nevada. And his wife, they have the history of their parents, what kind of occupations, and everything related to the couple. So it's very interesting, and it's old, and I think it should belong with the family and not with me. Another item that was pretty interesting was a letter from one of our mayors, Mayor Hartke, from 1958. And it was a letter congratulating James and his wife on the birth of a daughter, wishing them much success, and signed by Mayor. And it's interesting, no zip codes on this, but the address of our city hall at that time was 1301 East College Avenue, which I believe is now 1301 East Lake Mead, where the old city hall was. And the address where the family lived is no longer in existence, on Orr Street, O-R-R. One of the other items in this notebook was a construction workers card. I guess they issued quarterly cards to show that you were a trade employee. Laborers Local number 872 from 1962, showing that the gentleman James was in the construction industry. At first, I thought he might have been a North Las Vegas police officer. Maybe some people know about this, but this is a document, a fingerprint document for Jamie Roach, which I assume is James Roach. But the more I look at this, I believe it might have been what they used in the 1960s. If you worked for the casinos, you had to get fingerprinted. So, because it mentions Nevada Highway Patrol, Boulder City PD, North Las Vegas PD, Henderson PD, Clark County Sheriff's Department, Las Vegas PD, Fraternal Order of Police, Las Vegas. And 2-3 years ago, I contacted them to see if they could help me do some research. They say, we don't have records that back or that far back. We have no idea. They actually referred it to in the county, there's like a county commissioner of something who does records, and he said, couldn't help you. I didn't even ask, but he must have got a referral from them. So this might be, if anybody knows, if this is what they use when they talk about in the old movies about getting carded, fingerprinted for the casino industry, I'd be curious to know if this was what they used. And then finally, and most important, is there were these family photos. We can blow up. And in the top one, we have a nice family photo showing, labeled Tom Roach, which must have been the grandfather. So I showed you the marriage certificate, and it shows on the marriage certificate that James' father was named Thomas. So that must be the gentleman in the middle holding one of his grandbabies. And that might have been the girl that was born in 1958 that the mayor wrote a letter about. And also in the picture is Jim Roach when he was a youngster, and also John Roach, which might have been a relative or a brother, and he's standing on a mule. Of all things. So this is important family documentation. I tried getting Councilman Churchill's wife to do some research on a website for genealogy. She couldn't come up with anything. And I spent a lot of time doing research, and I found there's a lot of Roaches in Boulder City. So there's a good chance the family might have grandchildren, great-grandchildren in Boulder City. And if anybody can assist me in trying to do any research on learning where the family is, I'd love to know so I could return this to their rightful owners, and something I'd rather see go to the family than into a trash can. Thank you.
Jeff, let me see that. I recognize that mule. It looks like a former county commissioner I know. Yeah, that could be a North Las Vegas mule. Yeah. Thank you very much, Jeff. You are exciting. Thank you. Moving on to public forum. I shouldn't have said that. Madam City Clerk, do we have any more blue cards or councilman? No? Then, here we go. I have 2 cards right here. Miss Linda Rio. I'm messing your name up, Linda, but please come forward.
It's Bodrero. Mr. Mayor, good evening, and members of the council. I was here a couple of weeks ago. It's exciting to be here. I wanted to tell you a little progress that's happened on Water Creek. I guess from me walking up and down and taking pictures, one of the neighbors cleaned up their front yard, took the mattress out, the dead grass, took the trailer out of their front yard, but parked it on the street where there's like about 8 different cars sitting there. But I did call the North Las Vegas Police Department today, and the process is to go ahead and say which cars, if they've been there longer than 72 hours, and then the police department came out a few hours later and they ticketed 2 of the vehicles that I could describe. I'm going to do that tomorrow morning and find, maybe walk up and down and see the other ones and get a better description for the department. So I'm trying to work on this because my plan is to sell my home. And my home is, I think, one of the best looking homes on the block. I try to keep it up. It's I was the first one that painted the outside of the home and made it look real nice. But my concern is that I pay my taxes. And when I get the little tax notice of what they're going to charge me, okay, I want to know if somebody comes out and looks at my property, which I kind of doubt. They probably look at a map or probably look at the plans for it in the beginning. You know, it's 23 years old, but I've kept it up pretty well. If I pay my taxes and you guys want your money, okay, and nobody comes out and looks, and the neighborhood is, or the block is deteriorating, I don't think it's fair, okay, that I have to pay. Each year it's increasing, but the block is falling apart. So I don't think it's fair. I don't know if there's an ordinance. I've been looking online trying to find out where to go to look at the ordinances and see what we have in place, because if I sell my home, I'm not going to get top dollar. I'm not going to get what I asked for because of the looks of the neighborhood. I'm asking for help from you guys. If I need to do an ordinance, or how do I go about the council helping me get one of these ordinances in place? I mean, we don't have CCNRs. We're not in a gated community. We're not in one of those HOAs, okay? But I think I'm very proud of my home. I'm proud of where I live. But some of these neighbors, we need to do something about. I know you're buzzing. Okay, whatever.
I can give you that handsome gentleman right there, Director Alfredo, right here. He's, well, maybe not so handsome, but, you know, you couldn't recognize him. But he can help you with, we have ordinances on the books, and it's just a matter of you asking him to work with you. The other thing is, when you go to see your house, of course, there'll be an appraisal on your house. You
Right.
know what I mean? So if your
I
house
had it
looks better than
appraised 2
everything
years
else-
ago.
Huh?
I had it appraised
Oh, yeah,
2
good.
years
So
ago.
if
But
we
2
can-
years ago, the block wasn't as bad as it is now.
So if you could meet with that semi-handsome man over there, then maybe we could help you out a little bit more.
Okay.
But we have enough ordinances on the books to do everything we need to do in that area.
Super. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
thank you so much. Appreciate
Okay.
you. And next.
How do I get his name and number? Just go over and talk to you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sidebar there, yeah. Mr. Branch, welcome.
Aubrey Branch, 1720 Silent Sunset Avenue. Honorable Mayor and City Council members and our City Manager. I missed the last 2 weeks, and I just wanted to make sure I come down and say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. Hoping that 2018 can be very, very prosperous. I wanted to go with Hanukkah and everything else, but if I missed something, I didn't want to try that at all. And I'm still sitting back there trying to figure out who that meal looked like. I don't have any idea.
Anyway, well, thank you, Mr. Branch. You're a great subcontractor or contractor for us. Is there anybody from the audience that would like to come and address the city council at this time? If not, we're going to close public hearing. Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.